Today's video is going to be the final step of the upgrades that I made in my shop over the last year and a half. It's going to show how I went from these to the IVAC Automated Blast Gate system, which includes the automatic blast gates, the automatic dust collection controller, to the dust remote, to the contactor that controls the dust collection for 3 horsepower and up, and then for this product that most people don't know about, the IVAC candlestick sensors. Okay, I've got all the IVAC dust blast gates installed. So you can see on the table saw, band saw, disc sander, drum sander, jointer, planer, and CNC machine, which all the tools are connected by the IVAC Pro Tool Plus. So on the CNC machine, it's operated by just flipping this switch right here, because I use the remote to turn the dust collector on to still activate this manual blast gate for my cleanup hose, and then this manual blast gate here for the floor sweep. So that's the purpose of the remote. But for the CNC, because it's on but the spindle's not always turning, I can flip this switch here. It will open that blast gate, and it closes this blast gate. This is blast gate number 1. As you can see, I've put a piece of tape on there to indicate when it's in the closed position. It's open right now. It defaults open so that when the dust collection kicks on, it's not pulling negative pressure. And if I turn on the CNC, that gate will open, this gate will close, and we'll demonstrate that in a few moments. The breaker off on the dust collector just so I can show you how it operates. So if I flip this switch manually, it will open this blast gate, close this blast gate, and turn the dust collection on. But I'm going to go over to one of the tools so you can see how it operates without having to flip one of the switches to the sander. So when I turn on the sander, maybe you'll hear this blast gate open, that blast gate will close. You'll hear the contactor. This is how mine's set up. You have the switch, which all the blast gates talk to. They trigger the contactor. And on my contactor, I bought the one that has the minimum run time. I've got it set for, I think 3 minutes. So basically after everything turns off and blast gate opens back up, the dust collector will continue to run for 3 minutes to make sure all the lines are cleared out. So let's see if you can hear it. So I'm going to turn on the sander, and you should hear this gate open, that gate close. Maybe I can get it where you can see the window. Okay, the contactor just kicked in, that gate's open, and now this gate's closed. This gate's closed, as you can see by the indicating window there. So now if I go over, I don't know if you could hear the contactor kick off. All right, now when I turn this off, it'll happen so fast, I'll try to catch that blast gate opening. Watch the top window. No, it's too fast. What happens, that gate opens, the gate for the sander will stay open for an additional 50 seconds. Let's see if you can get over here and see it. This gate will stay open for 50 seconds as indicated by the green here. This one should close here just a couple seconds. There it goes. They have a 50-second delay on them. So the dust collector will still be running. I'm going to go over here so we can get the contactor when it kicks off. Okay, the contactor just basically turned off the dust collector. So you can see the system's all automated, but the only problem that the only issue that I have was, until I build confidence in the system, was I would visually walk around and double check and make sure that everything was working properly. So I'll get the candlesticks installed now and then show you the difference. Okay, this is a typical candlestick assembly. You have a transformer that's run by low voltage USB. You have two magnets that go on the opposite sides of these triggers. You have red and green for the triggers, and then you have a red and green LED with a 6-foot length of USB cable. So that's what one of the candlestick kits looks like. Okay, all the candlesticks have been installed, and as you can see, there's the one for the table saw, band saw, disc sander, drum sander, jointer, and planer, and then the CNC machine. As you can see, the planer is green because that's gate number 1, which stays open so that when you turn a tool on, you don't have a negative draft on the system. So if I turn on the jointer, for example, which will be this gate here, as soon as I turn it on, you're going to see that gate open, the gate on the planer will close, and you may be able to hear the contactor kick in. Like I said, I've got the breaker off on the dust collector, so it's all automated. And I'm gonna do it one time. You can see I'm really good in here now, but I'll do them one time like this, and I'll turn the lights off just so you can see it a little bit easier. But it makes it so much easier than walking around and looking. You can just visually stand in any place in the shop and see it. Okay, so I'm gonna turn on the joiner. That gate will close, that gate will open, and you'll hear the contactor kick in. And then when I turn it off, the same thing will happen. The number 1 gate will open back up, the joiner gate will stay open for 50 seconds, and the dust collector will run for an additional 2 minutes. Okay? Now as soon as I turn it off, you'll see gate 1 open back up. So now the dust collector would be running, both gates open. After 50 seconds, the joiner gate will close back. Okay, so that gate closed. Everything else is closed except number 1. The dust collector would still be running. So the lights are off. So the good thing about this system is you can mount the candlesticks wherever you want. You can see I've got that one mounted about, I don't know, about 3 feet above the actual gate. That way I can see it from anywhere in the shop. So you can see them, they stand out really well with the lights off, but you can see them really good with the lights on. I just don't know about the camera. All right, the contactor just kicked out. All right, so this time let's go over to the bandsaw. So I'm gonna turn the bandsaw on and see if I can't get a shot, like this. All right, you'll see the bandsaw gate open. You'll see the gate over at the planer close, and the contactor will pull in. So here we go. So now you have just this gate open. Then in reverse, when I turn the saw off, the planer gate will open. The bandsaw gate will stay open for 50 seconds, and then the contactor will close out. I hope this helped. I couldn't find any videos on it, so I thought maybe I would do this so it might help somebody else.